Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Akil, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever review for a movie that came out in 2018 this year. Well, technically not my first. My first was the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The second was Dead Man's Chest, the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And yeah, this is my first movie review for a movie that has come out in theaters. So yeah, that's pretty crazy that I'm reviewing these type of movies now, but I'm really excited and I'm hoping this year I can do as much as I can because this year there's a lot of blockbusters, so why not start this year too? And there's a lot of reviewers out there like Chris Duckman, Jeremy Johns. Shout out to them, and I also do a big shout out to Ty Magnus that have done tons of reviews on the channel. Some not more than others, but others have done quite a bit. And so yeah, I won't follow a similar structure to them. My reviews are structured differently. If you want to see how they're structured in the form, go watch my first two reviews. I think I explained it, I'm pretty sure, but if not, I will explain it one more time. I introduce the film, give a pre-rating score, I talk about the story, and the positives, the negatives, and the final rating score, which is out of 10. Not a grade, not 100%, not a score out of 100, not a funny word, but a score out of 10. And no, not even 5 out of 5 stars or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, Darkest Hour is a movie that stars Gary Oldman, Ben Mendelsohn, Lily James, some other people. Those are just the names I can remember, and those are the most famous ones in the movie. Gary Oldman starred in other movies like Harry Potter, the Harry Potter films as Sirius Black, and he also starred in the Dark Knight trilogy as Commissioner Gordon. Ben Mendelsohn starred as Krennic, I don't know how to say his name, in Rogue One, and he also stars in this year's Ready Player One, and Lily James starred in 2015's Disney remake or live action film remake of Cinderella. So yeah, I tried to give as much background knowledge, well not background on the film, but like background knowledge about the actors, like what other films they've done. And it's directed by Joe Wright, who came off on the heels of a very bad film known as Pan that came out in 2015, which is actually a long time ago now when you really think about it, because we're in 2018, the big blockbusters and all that. And I'll also tell you about my review schedule at the end of this review. So yeah, now I don't want to make this review too long like my Pirates review. This will just be straight to the point. So without further ado, let's do this. So as always, pre-rating score, I say this is a good movie. Winston Churchill, is a story about a prime minister, like for example in this case Winston Churchill. It has some enjoyable moments to it. I will explain them in my positive when I talk about my positive, but it also has some not enjoyable moments, which I'll explain my negatives. But then again, this movie is a very, I won't say enjoyable movie or entertaining. There are some entertaining parts, but it's very like serious at parts, interesting, which is why I said this is a good movie. It's definitely watchable. I wouldn't put this as like a marvelous masterpiece, which is what most people call it. But as a 17-year-old seeing a movie about Winston Churchill, it was actually okay. I wouldn't say it's like a 5 out of 10. It's not that bad, or even a 4. Like it's really boring, or 3, 2, or 1. Like it's god awful, but still. Hey, I was going back and forth between 6 and 7, but then when I really thought about it, I was like, it's what I thought about A Monster Course in 2017. A 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. Anyway, let's get straight to the point. So the story about the movie is Winston Churchill becoming prime minister, and showing what he went through, like the struggles about him being rejected. First, he talked about peace in the movie, like at the start, and then he changed his mind. He wanted to have a lot of peace with freaking Hitler, and then at the end, he thought about it, and he was like, no, he's a tiger. He called him a tiger in the movie. Yeah. Now, I will talk about the performances next in my positive, but story-wise, this movie is pretty interesting. Like, I don't know if it's accurate, but I really did what I cut. It kept showing like the dates change. Surprisingly, the font was like right in front of her face, like, and it was changing a bit like a clock. Like it was like whoop, whoop. No, sorry, that was random sound effect. But like 9 May, 10th May, and all that. Yeah, but This movie, the story is interesting to see what he goes through, like his relationship with all the other characters, supporting characters, with the king, and also like his wife and the typewriter girl, and yeah, who's played by Willie James, and the king is played by Ben Mendelsohn, and yeah. But overall, the story is interesting. If you are fans of Winston Churchill, of history, historical movies, not historical fiction, but historical movies based on true events, and if you are fans on Winston Churchill well, or if you supported him and really like his speeches and all that, and Gary Oldman, I think you'll like this movie a lot. Alright, now for the positives. And I'm hoping that PowerPoint is okay for you guys. If not, I don't know what else to do, but hey, go to start somewhere, right? Alright, positives. First off, the story. The story of this movie is very, 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 like I said, interesting. Yeah, this is one thing I found very interesting about the movie, is that the story is about a prime minister, going through all this stuff. He's just like Lincoln. Like, I'm sure for those of you who are seeing Lincoln can make a similar comparison to this movie, because they're both about these iconic people in history. But Lincoln's like a story that takes place much older time in history. But this movie, this guy went through a lot, but the story was what kept this movie going, and it was very interesting, very informative too at the same time. The acting, Gary Oldman's performance, I gotta say, is a marvelous achievement. It's a knockout. It's one of those really award-winning performances that you straight away know, like, if this guy shouts, or he has to shout for a reason, but he doesn't shout. But Gary Oldman, you can still hear his voice, but Gary Oldman is fantastic in this movie. Like, he does a great job. He's charismatic charm with the typewriter girl, and Willie James was actually pretty good. The person who played his wife, which I can't remember the name, I saw her name once when I was like looking through the cast on Google. Like, yeah, she was pretty good too. I wouldn't say really good. I wouldn't go as that far to say it's really good, but Gary Oldman was the one that knocked it out. Willie James was pretty good too. Ben Mendelsohn as the king, he was alright. You don't see much. I won't spoil again, but well, did I say I wouldn't spoil? Yes, I wouldn't spoil anything, guys. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but I don't want to spoil stuff in my reviews. I don't feel like that's a good idea. But anyway, yeah, this movie, the performances were good, and last but not least, the humor. The humor really kept it going. It was very what should I say? Funny at times, and the jokes. My friend said it was ironic, and I could understand why. There is one part which I won't spoil, but he does something, like he goes to a certain place, and then there's a group of people there, and it's just, that was a pretty funny moment. Alright, now on to the negatives. With every great movie, there has to be also some flaws, guys. This movie is a bit boring, and I'm not even joking, guys. There are times when it turns down the pace a bit, and I'll talk about that in my next negative too. But yeah, if you're not a history fan, you won't like this. Like, there were times I was like, oh, how long has passed and all that, because I'm a guy that actually wants to know how long these movies are, and this movie was like 2 hours on the dot. I'm not even joking. Wow, that surprised me. So it's like a 5-minute credits, but the point is, guys, it is a bit boring. There's sometimes the scene drags and drags, but other times it is pretty interesting and funny, and it's also a bit too long. This movie should not have been 2 hours. It should have been like an hour 40 or something like that. But hey, if it's a movie about a prime minister, it should be as long as they want. But as long as the studio or the director wants it to be, or the screenwriter wants it to be. But or writer, I should say, want it to be. But still, the point is, this movie should not have been that long. It should have been as long as like Pan was, but that I think was also a little bit too long too. Yeah, but Lincoln was like 2.5 hours long, I believe. Yeah, but that's Spielberg's choice. This movie is a bit too long, but it's still interesting. Now, my final score. This movie, like I said, again, going back to the positives, just very quickly, the story was good. The acting was knockout performance from Gary Oldman, Willie James, and Ben Mendelsohn both did pretty good jobs. The humor was pretty funny at times. There are some negatives, but overall, I'll give this movie, as it says on the screen, a 7 out of 10. I think it's a really decent and solid historical fiction movie. It is a good movie. It's definitely watchable, but there are times when it was like, oh, okay, I get what you're trying to do here. So yeah, that's my first review for a movie that came out in 2018. It actually did for Australia. Yeah, that's why I would, by the way, if you guys just wanted to know that. But anyway, yeah, 7 out of 10. It's fine. Go check it out. If you are fans of historical fiction movies, definitely check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and keep an eye out for more movie reviews. My next review, I'm hopefully going to see The Death Cure. I don't know, in theaters, maybe online. And Black Panther. Hopefully I can see that in theaters, if not online. And yeah, I would say I would talk about my schedule, guys. My schedule is, hold on, let me just get rid of this. Yeah. My schedule is, I'll just show you my background on my computer, so that won't keep you looking at this for the longest time. But yeah, sorry, yeah, just distracting background for a sec. Yeah, my schedule for my reviews this year depends and varies on how many movies I can see in theaters and all that. But if I have to wait that long for it to come out, well, if I have to wait that long, I'll probably watch them at the end of the year. But for me, maybe one movie a month. That's how strict it's going to be this year, guys. I'm sorry. So don't expect like dozen reviews in March or May or June or whatever. But November, December time is the time where I can review a lot. So be prepared for a lot of reviews November, December. Because my school's finished and I don't have to start uni until like February or something. So yeah. Because that's how it is in this country. I don't know about, well, for us in Sydney, that is. I don't know about other parts of Australia and the world, but yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed my review for The Darkest Hour, and thanks for watching. And this is Akil, and I see you guys next time. This is Akil, and I'm signing out. Bye, guys.